This is going to sound gay, but I learned what emotions were when I listened to Simple and Clean. Alden Fallor has a new video. As you all know, he set the industry on fire when he said that Kanto 8 was so good that he's quitting Limbus Company. And then he didn't quit Limbus Company. He's back today. Oh my God.
500 comments. That's what happened when I said Limbus Company has a structural problem that its community refuses to look at directly.
Bro just starts off with the Death Note music.
The arguments came in fast. Some of them were good enough that I went back and looked at the evidence again.
Let's look at the evidence. Let's connect the dots.
And I'm still technically right. And a few of you...
Incredible. Man investigates himself and finds no wrongdoing. Incredible.
Accidentally proved my point while trying to dismantle it. Here's what the community got wrong, and the one thing they got exactly right. So let's talk about the top comment. 252 as of the...
I don't remember. Did I comment on this video? I think I might have commented. I don't know.
Recording of this likes. KJH said he's only planning 10 years, not 19 and a half, and that I did the math wrong. And look, that's fair. KJH did...
That's very fair.
...say 10 years in a live stream. Multiple people piled on with variations of this, and they were right to push back on that specific number.
I don't know. Well, if we're averaging like 2 Kantos a year, it doesn't even matter because, like we said, like the story is going to continue after the city. Like if they leave the city or if they destroy the city or like whatever, they're still the outskirts. There's a whole other planet that we haven't even seen yet.
Here's the problem. That number isn't new, and it's not entirely stable. The timeline has already been adjusted before the game has even hit its halfway point. The stated plan has been revised at least twice in public-facing streams. Plans change, and that's fine. To be honest, you couldn't expect anything different from a gaming company. But you cannot use KJH said 10 years as a load-bearing pillar of your argument.
He said load. Okay. That's radical, dude.
KJH said has already been proven to be a moving target. The number isn't the point. The point is that any stated timeline exists inside of a live service economy that does not care about that timeline. And even if you lock the number...
I like how people are mad that Alden Fallor said that Limbus Company is going to go on for 19 years, and then people are like, no, it's only going to go on for 10. You want the live service game that you spent thousands of dollars on to end in 10 years? I don't think so.
10 years. That's still a problem. Like I said in my previous video, it only took me 7 years and 9 months. That's how long it took before I stopped caring about World of Warcraft's story.
Gee, that's 7 years too late.
Not 20 years in, not even halfway. 7 years and 9 months.
Clay, gonna have you write scripts for me soon. I wouldn't write my own script.
And you had me sitting there in Pandaria, going through the motions, logging hours without a single reason to care why.
Here's your problem, Alden Fallor. World of Warcraft sucked!
World of Warcraft launched in 2004, and Wrath of the Lich King...
This motherfucker gonna have me watching another World of Warcraft video.
Universally agreed to be the peak of that game storytelling.
I can't get away from this piece of shit
Honestly,
franchise.
I really liked Wrath of the Lich King, but come on, Illidan just had the drip that peaked way better, in my opinion. Anyway, back to Lich King. It dropped in 2008, and by 2011, Cataclysm was already showing cracks.
World of Warcraft should have been laughed off the market with Pandaria. I have no idea why they were allowed to continue existing.
2014, Warlords of Draenor broke the community in half, and some of us stayed out of some kind of sick obligation to World of Warcraft, while me, like a lot of others, decided that the what-if scenario was what would kick us from our favorite game.
I don't know shit about World of Warcraft.
That's 10 years from the launch of the game to my narrative collapse. It doesn't happen as fast for others.
You guys will never know the pain of like finding a new like sci-fi MMORPG and having it go end of service within a year. Like there was a Global Agenda. It was this awesome sci-fi MMORPG, it lasted like maybe 2 years, and then Firefall lasted maybe 2 years before it was shut down. Listen, I learned how long ago I learned to stop giving a fuck about MMOs because they'll only hurt you. Play the video.
Some people have already left Limbus Company. You can check the comments section in the previous video.
Well, it's kind of hard to stay with Limbus Company because there's no content.
Due to what they see as narrative collapse. Other people are still here. You are okay being the people who are still here. But KJH...
Limbus Company's main problem is that it's not supposed to be the game that it is. It's supposed to be another full retail game. But instead, it has to pretend to be a live service gotcha game.
His 10-year plan doesn't give Limbus Company a buffer. It gives it a deadline that lands right at the same pressure point that started killing WoW. And here's the other thing nobody in the comments section addressed. That 10-year window came from a live stream. Live streams are not contracts. They're what feels right in the moment. What sounds right for what KJH has at that moment. If year 8 comes around...
The problem with Limbus Company is that it either needs to end at a certain point and like just like go offline. Like it doesn't need to like stay online. But like the problem with like they made Limbus Company to make money, and then he's quoted as saying that he's made enough money. So technically the game could just end and then they can just make a new $60 game. But like you know how hard it is to find a real human being that you want to spend time with, if, let alone for the rest of your life. You want me to play the same game for my entire life? I don't think it's possible.
And the player count is down and the revenue is struggling. Nobody is pulling up a timestamp from 5 years ago and holding it up to him like, look at this. A live service.
Look at what you said.
Game runs as long as it's financially viable. Full stop. I know that they had issues with Lobotomy Corporation and that they went negative for a bit with it. I get it. I do.
I heard that it was a Kickstarter game. I didn't even know that.
But giving yourself a pristine image,
it's pretty good for a Kickstarter game, though.
By fixing any of the
it's a piece of shit game, and I hate it. I'll never play it again. But
bugs and making your game work in a single release game and going on in a gacha game are two different beasts. The 10-year argument doesn't defeat my point. It gives the point a due date.
The off-ramp argument.
And even you guys are hedging your bets. Several people brought up off-ramp.
Yo, big guy, I hope you don't scream. I'm gonna play this live in the background to sleep. You picked the wrong person. You picked the wrong stream to do that, dude.
KJH is apparently aware that things could go sideways, and he has exit strategies built into the structure. This means he's not 100% sure about his game and his story.
It's kind of gonna be like God of War 2. Have you ever played God of War 2? Once you get towards the end of the game just starts like hitting like this like full speed ahead pacing, and then just before you get to Zeus, the game ends. And you're like, what? But isn't he like the boss? Isn't he the final boss? And it's like, no, you beat the final boss like 5 minutes ago. The game's just gonna end now. And you're like, what? Limbus Company could totally do that. Like Limbus Company could like kill Dante, and then the credits roll, and then Kim Ji-yoon goes, that was the last update for Limbus Company, and the story will continue in a full $60 game within the next 5 years, and just leave everybody hanging. He could totally do it.
Timeline either. And genuinely, it's good. It shows self-awareness, and
Limbus could end midway through, then transition to a story and a standalone game, even with different gameplay. Probably the best case scenario. Yeah, like I said, like the main criticism of this game is that it's not really a gacha game. If you actually play the game and you don't gamble, you can get every character that you want for free, except for Walpurgis. But if you get every other character that you want for free, then you have plenty of resources for Walpurgis, and then you don't even have to really. It doesn't even gambling at that point. Just yell something stupid and real quick. I gotta wait for him to go to sleep first. Oh! Yeah, there we go. Try sleeping in my stream. Don't ever try sleeping in my stream again.
I respect that.
Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, Al.
Coffee time.
What the fuck?
Killer fish.
And hold on, I'll give you one of these. There we go. And by the way, Coffee Addict is in here.
Coffee time.
Damn good coffee.
This is, excuse me,
a damn fine cup of coffee.
I forgot to play those when he donated. Thank you all. You people are incredible. Play the fucking video, Alden Fallor.
About what an off-ramp actually means. An off-ramp means the story in...
Play, will you try to get the Mersault skin? I don't like Mersaults, okay? I don't need skins. I'm free to clay, damn it.
Vision is finished. It's BioWare quietly shelving the next Mass Effect rather than completing the arc they promised.
Oh, did this actually come out? Wait. There's no recent updates on the studio. Yeah, because every studio is being shut down because they keep making games that nobody gives a shit about, and then if you don't buy it, they call you racist, and then shocker, nobody buys it, and then it fails, and then they shutter the company.
It's the MCU fast-tracking storylines because Phase 4 lost the audience.
This is ridiculous. Whoever thought that... I cannot stand... Here, okay. If I ran the world, do you want to know what I would have done with Disney? You know what I would have done with Marvel? I would start a new TV show, okay? You know how back in the day, TV shows would have like 20 episodes a season? You start a brand new TV show. You call it Marvel. And you start off with pick a character. Who gives a fuck? There's a 30 trillion of them. Pick a fucking character. And you give that character like a 6-episode arc. And in that 6-episode arc, you introduce new characters. And you weave the characters in and out of the stories. And you tell the stories from the comic books. And then you do that for like 24 episodes. And then that's season 1. What you don't do is make 3 million different movies and shows and spin-offs and one-offs and what-ifs because nobody has the time to watch all that garbage, okay? If you would just make a TV show, one TV show, it's not the Green Lantern show, it's not the Spider-Man show, it's just one show, and you take 6 episodes at a time to tell a couple stories, and it goes on for 60 years. It could be the next Doctor Who for all I give a fuck. Wouldn't that make way more fucking sense than tracking down the next 800 movies you gotta watch? One TV show. You get one TV show, and you can tell stories for 60 fucking years.
And they needed to...
This phase is bullshit, sucks a dick.
...land somewhere meaningful before the whole thing falls...
The Marvel is a beautiful example of total corporatic failure. That's a new word. More like corpocraptic. Radical.
Because they're kind of doing this shit right now as you're watching this video. An off-ramp is not a win. An off-ramp is a controlled landing when the fuel runs out early. A place to save yourself when you no longer have the ability to hit the brakes. The community treated this like a rebuttal, and it's not a rebuttal, it's a plan B. A plan B only matters if plan A has already...
Yeah, Alden Fallor is running into the same thing that what's it called? What's that fucking name? Genshin Impact. He's running into the same thing that Genshin Impact has, where people are so in love with that game that they will not let you criticize it at all, because to criticize it is to... It's to express that you want their thing to change, and change is bad. And if you're trying to change something, then you're trying to ruin it. And it's like, that's not how any of this works.
He failed, which is exactly what I said might happen. Not that it will, but that it might.
I think standalone shows are better personally. The problem with the standalone shows is that they get canceled. Like, they do a standalone show for Deadpool. What the fuck is his name? Daredevil. They do a standalone show for Daredevil. It gets 2 seasons. Then it gets canceled. Then 7 years later, they reboot it, and then they cancel it again. If you would have just put it in an isolated arc in a TV show and have him as like a reoccurring character or something, you'll never have to worry about Daredevil being canceled because he's in the show, like that everybody else is in. It would basically be like Endgame, like every year, because you would have all these characters getting together, and they would all, and like after over 20 episodes of learning all their different stories and everything, then they all come together and they beat the big bad at the end of the season. That's way better than getting one superhero show for 2 seasons and then it gets canceled and then you never fucking see him again. That's what I think.
And of course, there's the...
I don't know why they don't just cancel them all and just do the Punisher. I mean, the Punisher is the only thing in Marvel that's worth a shit.
Golden.
Spider-Man? Oh, gross.
moment. And, okay, this one I actually find interesting. It's the most optimistic read in the comment section, and it's not a dumb argument. The case is this.
I can never watch an Alden Fallor video without getting completely sidetracked. I swear to God, those shows are made to be canceled. Yeah, it's stupid. Like, I swear to God, we've gotten to a point where we have so much money that we're literally just off. Like, we're just trying to see how much money we can waste at this point and still stay afloat. Like, I'm convinced that corporate America has gotten to the point where they're too big to fail. So they're just like, let's just fuck around. And it's the same, like all of our governments, are just like, let's just fuck with them now. We got all the money, we got all the power. Let's just tell them that the files don't exist. Let's just fuck with them.
Limbus Company isn't just Limbus Company. It's built on top of...
He made it political.
Lobotomy Corporation.
Don't fucking talk about that game.
The city exists. The wings exist. There's 5 years of world building underneath this game before a single sinner ever showed up. More world means more runway. And that is true, and I hear you. And it's that Project Moon did something that most developers never do. They built the lore before they built the game. The world was already lived in. That's something that matters not only to the story, but also to those of us who are experiencing the story. But here's the issue. More world means more lore debt. Every corner you build is a corner. You'll eventually
I was just watching a video about this. Shows and movies and video games, it's called lore slop. They're not actually telling a story. They're just giving you lore. And then you're supposed to like fill in the blanks. And then basically when you go on Twitter and you put out your theories, then the creator just goes, oh wow, these theories are really good, and then they just build the story around that. So like, we're not really like getting handcrafted stories anymore. We're literally just getting lore slop that the blanks are just filled in later, and it's just horseshit. They're not actually setting out to tell a story anymore. Like, they're literally just like dropping little nugs of information, and you're supposed to glean the whole story from that. It's fake.
Have to paint. The Halo expanded universe.
Why are we making everything into blank slop?
Novels, comics, animated series, 11 plus years of additional lore. And all of it became a liability the moment 343 Industries tried to use it, because the casual audience had no access to any of it.
Yeah, that's what's so stupid. It's like, whatever. Hey, you remember Star Wars? No, because it's dead. Why? Because they fragmented it into a million things. Hey, remember Kingdom Hearts? No, because it's dead. Because you had to have every single console under the sun to play it and get the whole story. And then you find out that the story was garbage anyway, and it was just an excuse to hold your nostalgia hostage so that they can make a quick buck off of millions of kids that grew up. You see this new... Kingdom Hearts has been dead since Kingdom Hearts 2. The combat sucks, the story sucks, and I hate it!
The hardcore lore players felt cheated when the continuity got bent. The new players felt lost when
get bent!
References landed without context. And
you think that guy is still sleeping?
The bigger the world got, the harder it became to make every part of it land for every part of the audience simultaneously.
Bro, I've always said that this is gonna sound gay, but I learned what emotions were when I listened to Simple and Clean and Sanctuary. When those songs came out from Kingdom Hearts, I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this feeling inside my chest?
Limbus Company is already doing this. Lobotomy Corporation callbacks hit different for people who put in the hours. For everyone else,
that's different though, because with Limbus Company, it's just 3 games, and they all start with the letter L. You don't have to watch Shang-Chi and the Golden Onion Rings and Green Archer and Daredevil before it gets canceled. Like, it's
moments are background noise. And the cracks are showing. One comment in this thread pointed out something that once you see it, you can't unsee it. Mind you, this is another commenter. But the Kong family in Kanto 8's flashback, the way they function, the way they're so...
Who the fuck are the Kongs? Like King Kong?
Structure operated, the way they held power. That depiction has a problem.
Project Moon's 4th game is going to be called Ligmus Company.
For the light from Lobotomy Corporation hadn't been properly cultivated yet in that era. which means most humans in that window would have been operating at something closer to like baseline depression. In a
Suppressed dimension.
more hollowed out, less human state. The organized, functioning family hierarchy the flashback shows us, with their love for the world and their benevolence, doesn't fully line up with what the world should have looked like at that point in the city's history. That's
Oh, what are we nitpicking now, Al Lattice?
continuity. And it happened because the world got bigger.
Oh, the pregnant family that got wiped out by the crow people?
Faster than the timeline could support it. Lobotomy Corporation established the conditions for that era. Then this
Shake my
company needed the
head.
Kong family to exist a certain way for Kanto 8 to land. And the two things don't fully agree with each other. One scene in 3 years. A bigger universe is not a buffer against narrative fatigue. It's more surface area to maintain.
The Kim Jong-un controls an argument.
One argument that I heard a lot from you guys is that there are no outside entities.
Alden, you gotta fix this. Can you get a new microphone? This microphone is just, it keeps doing that sound. We gotta stop it. We gotta figure this out.
It's controlling this. KJH controls it. Kim Ji-hoon is the only one who has any say in this. And this is the argument I find the least interesting to engage with, but I mean, it is genuine critique, and I'm not going to dismiss it. So,
I don't even know what the critique is. Like, that means that he can end it whenever he wants. That means that he has total control and it's not controlled like Hoyoverse. Like, this is a good thing.
KJH controls the vision. He built the world from scratch. He has delivered across 3 games. So, as long as he's there, nothing fundamentally breaks. And if you have concerns...
That's not true. I mean, like, generally it's true, but people can change for the worse. They do it all the time. If Kim Ji-hoon just wakes up one day and he's just like, I don't even give a fuck about this anymore. I don't even care. I don't, then yeah, then it doesn't matter if he works with the company. If he doesn't care anymore, then it's going to start getting shitty.
That's just a Western framework being applied to the Korean studio that operates differently. That's kind of the argument I'm hearing from you guys, and those are 2 different versions of this argument. I've seen both in my comment section, and I want to look at them seriously for a second. I don't want to dismiss you guys, so let's jump in. KJH is good. Truly, when it comes to his vision, Project
dancing in the background, it's just fucking ridiculous.
Moon structure, small team, creator-led, not publicly traded, does insulate.
Does any other company do this? I think it's just a Korean thing. Like, I know like K-pop is like goofy like this too, I guess. But like, does any other game studio do this? Just like encourage people to draw and animate their CEO dancing?
From some of the corporate pressures that turned Blizzard into a content factory. Your comments
My CEO can't be this cute.
on this
Kim Ji-hoon breaking it down
are not false. But here's the thing about building
I can't even pay attention to Alden Fallor. I'm just like giggling and kicking my feet watching him dance.
a narrative around a single
He's
person's
teaching us how to move it.
vision. Kentaro Miura
Don't bring him up.
Berserk in 1989.
I don't want to get
He died
sad.
in
1984.
2021. With the story unfinished, 32 years of work, one of the most meticulous.
This is kind of okay. So like, if you're saying that Kim Ji-hoon can become Kentaro Miura, where he just loses all interest and just plays idle games for 18 years, oh fuck. Oh, Christ.
World builders in the history of the medium. His studio is finishing it without him. And if you've read the chapter since, you already know it's not really the same, and it can't be.
I didn't even know that they were releasing new chapters.
The vision was his, and when he left, that vision left with him. Akira Toriyama built Dragon Ball into a global franchise
Most overrated anime manga ever created.
across 4 decades, and he died in March of 2024. Dragon Ball Daima was still airing, Super is unresolved, and the one person who knew exactly where everything was supposed to go, well, now he's gone. Now a committee makes calls he never would have signed off on. A bit more niche here, but we've got VC Andrews, who died in 1980.
Who? Who's Who's this old white bitch?
6, and her estate hired a ghostwriter. He has published over 80 books under her name.
Oh my,
Most of
that's egregious. I hope her family's making money from it.
her current audience has
My mom loves this author. What a fuck. Your mom's an unk, dude.
never read a word that she actually
Miss, no, Mama Fallor. Mama Fallor.
George R.R. Martin has been
Oh, this guy's a fucking asshole.
finishing The Wind of Winter for over 13 years.
This guy's just fucking with people. I think he just vindictively is just like, you know what? You guys got the show. You didn't like it? Fuck off.
And HBO couldn't wait, so they improvised, and you know how that ended. R.A. Salvatore.
What the fuck? Respect Gilfs, Clay. Thank you. Fuck Dr. Patanger, everybody.
Killer fish.
Incredible.
One of my personal favorites, has written Dritz Duerden since
Riz Dorden?
R.A. Salvatore, one of my personal favorites, has written
Alden, do you read? What a fuck, dude.
Dritz Duerden since 1988.
What the fuck?
Single author, full control, no corporate interference, no live service pressure, and even Salvatore, 36 years in, has had to retcon continuity, quietly revise the rules of his own world, and contradict lore he established 2 decades prior just to keep the story moving. None of these people lost control to a corporation. None of them went Western. They ran into the same wall every long-form narrative hits eventually. Time is longer than any single person's ability to hold all the pieces together simultaneously.
The problem with trying to tell a story and make money off of it at the same time is that, like, if you make stories for a living and people want more of that story, you literally have to like sit down and like compromise your story and how you tell it just to make money off of it. So like the best example is the show Lost. That show has 6 seasons. You can only watch 3 of them because the last 3 are they're so dumb and basically pointless that like if the show would have just ended after 3 seasons, it still would have had like 60 something episodes and it still would have been fine. But instead, they wanted to do 6 seasons for some reason. And I've never finished it because I heard that the ending sucks. And I had the perfect ending for it. And apparently they didn't do what I thought they were going to do. So I'm like, all right, well then fuck it. There's no, this story. The story is so convoluted and been told for so long that it doesn't even matter because it's lost its way. Kill mentioned.
The KJH controls it argument assumes the threat is external, a bad investor, a hostile acquisition, a mandate from above. Those are real
Was that disgusting game that I hate?
Killer fish.
risks. I'm not dismissing them, but the risk I'm pointing at is internal. It's what happens to any story when the weight of its own history gets heavy enough that even the person who built it starts losing the threads.
Right.
Death of the author isn't just a literary theory term. It's the operating reality for every creator with a long enough run. Not because they fail, but because the work outlasts any single person's grip.
Outlast?
Not all of you had negative things to say about.
I hate when I'm watching a show thinking it's pretty good and then the latest season is dog shit. Cough, cough, One Punch Man. I don't watch One Punch Man, but I saw what they did to the final season. It's like Berserk. How do you have one of the biggest names ever and you can't get actual animation for it? Like, it's just, it's ridiculous.
What I had to say, and I want to put a spotlight on a specific comment. Not because it argued against me, but because it agreed with me in a way that matters more than anything I could say.
It's going to be me saying, Audis and Ryoshu are hot.
At Fly My Wings 10 wrote, there is definitely a toxic positivity problem with the
toxic positively problem.
This community. Any form of criticism, whether constructive or blind, will rarely be considered. 104 likes from inside the community on a video that was supposed to—
The likes are coming from inside the community.
Prove me wrong. That's not my argument anymore. That's the community making my argument for me. toxic positivity in a fandom around a live.
Oh, this isn't the toxic positivity video? Oh my god, bro's gonna make another video. I'm gonna farm it.
Service game doesn't protect the game. It insulates the developer from feedback they actually need to hear. Blizzard had one of the most loyal, vocal, passionate fan bases in gaming for a decade, and that loyalty became a wall. Criticism couldn't get.
Unfortunately, Fowler, you're never going to explain to people who don't listen to reason why criticizing something is good, because all they hear is, you want to change the thing I like. You must not like it. Therefore, you want to hurt it, and you want to hurt me. Unga bunga.
Through, and the players pushing back got buried under the ones celebrating. And the people making the decisions stopped hearing anything negative coming in.
Oh, tie me up. Okay.
Saying Project Moon is Blizzard. I've already said the opposite repeatedly. But a community that can't hold a developer accountable in the good years will not have the language to do it in the bad ones. And even someone as stubborn as Kim Ji-hoon needs to be held accountable if and when he makes his missteps.
The problem nobody mentioned.
Now here's the angle that almost no one in the comments section touched, and it's the more immediate problem. The story is still good, and we all agree on that part, but the gameplay loop is already
People, I don't know, people were not happy with Kanto 9.
showing the strain.
At the big, like half of, like 3/4 of it, they're not happy with it.
One comment near the bottom of the thread said
It just sneak dissing him. Yeah, all the way at the bottom.
cleanly. Most new content in Limbus gets consumed in 3 to 4 days. Then, dead weeks. Even Identity released.
That's my main criticism. The game does not need and shouldn't be live service, because to tell the story that they want to tell, they can't just shit it out like Honkai Star Rail. They need like months to. They have a writing team, and it still takes them months to get the next chapter out. This game does not need to be a live service. And if it is going to be a live service, like, they tried doing this back in the 2000s with, like, trying to make video games episodic. And you know where that led? We never got Half-Life Episode 3. Did you guys know? You probably don't, nobody probably remembers this, but there was a Telltale game called, what was it called? Not the Big Bad Wolf. What the fuck is it called? What was it called? There was a Telltale game about a big wolf guy, and he's a detective and he solves crimes. It had 1 season. 20 years later, they're coming out with season 2. It's like, games are not meant to be. It's like, just release a full game, and then if it does well, then you make a sequel.
Weeks are
The Wolf Among Us.
quote, fancier dead weeks. And that's not a story problem, that's a retention problem. And it matters because a live service game that doesn't retain players between story drops loses the audience before the next chapter can land. You can write the best Kanto in the game's history. And
Toxic positivity is virtually impossible to get rid of unless you have insane linguistic skills. It doesn't even matter. Like I said, people have an irrational love for pixels on a screen. You cannot rationalize to somebody the pixels on the screen could be better, because all they hear is, you're trying to take my pixels away. Kim Ji-hoon gave me these pixels, so therefore anything that Kim Ji-hoon does is good because I got these pixels that make me go goo goo gaga. So you can't rationalize with somebody if they are not willing to rationalize with you.
if the player base is thinned out waiting for it, the impact is a
Gotta have good tongue skill. You get your goddamn head out of the gutter, Alden Phallus.
fraction of what it should be. WoW had this exact
Holy titties!
issue. Gaps between major patches
Oh,
killed
blah, blah, blah,
engagement
blah, blah,
even
blah, blah,
during
blah, 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 blah.
strong story periods. Destiny 2's seasonal model was literally designed to solve it. Constant content, no dead weeks, and it overcorrected so far in the other direction, the story became impossible to follow without a spreadsheet. This is the design trap. Too little content between story chapters and you'll lose your audience. Too much and you'll drown the narrative. Project Moon is threading that needle.
Comparing things to Destiny 2 is kind of harsh, because Destiny 2 is just a cynical capitalistic trap, whereas Limbus Company is still at its core, like actually trying to tell a story and actually likes its fans. So it's kind of hard to compare the two, but I get what he's trying to say with like the live service model, how some games just completely get fucking eaten by the live service.
And they're only in year 3. I need to acknowledge the very first comment, 123 likes, just, why are you still making Limbus videos? I thought you quit, and wouldn't you love it if I would already? You know what? Just for this, I'm going to do a video that needs like days of research, just to tell
That'll
you
show them
that Kirby could solo the city. Moving on.
Payoff. Oh, he's bought out. They paid him off. They bought him out.
I want you to take from this. I'm not here to bury Limbus Company. I'm here because
I am. I'm getting the shovel.
Because
I had to stop myself from hitting the. You're welcome. I stopped myself. I was going to hit the explosion again.
the game is good enough that this conversation matters. Bad games don't get 500 comments of pushback. Nobody writes paragraphs defending something they don't care about. And I can see that each and every one of you who left comments in the last video massively care about this topic. The games I've watched collapse weren't killed by bad developers.
Bro needs to stop making response videos and get back to fucking playing Canto 9 so I can talk about it again. God damn.
They were killed by the gap between what the developers wanted to build and what a live service economy forced them to build over time. The gap grows slowly and it doesn't announce itself. And by the time you notice it, the story you loved is somewhere in the rear view. And you're not even sure when you stopped caring. Hold Project Moon accountable now. Not because the game is failing, but because it isn't.
Yeah, you criticize a live service game because you don't want it to fail. Or it's so far gone that all you can do is make fun of it so that nobody makes the same mistake on a different game later.
This is the window where that accountability actually does something. A fan base that asks hard questions while the game is good is the reason a developer keeps making good decisions. This is not a criticism. This is how you protect something you love.
Like, I can't think of many live service games that I've played for a long fucking period of time. I mean, I played Payday 2 a lot, but that game's also another like cynical capitalist piece of shit. I played Left 4 Dead 2 is like my second most played game because Versus is so much fun when you have two full teams. But like most live service games, I end up quitting because I just stop giving a shit.
If this helped you understand what I meant even a little bit more, or if it forced you to dig in harder and counter-argument me even more, drop it in the comments, and I actually read them. Clearly, I'm doing an entire video reacting to them. Like and subscribe if you want more of this, and as always, be good to each other. I'll see you in the next video.
Like and subscribe to Alden Fallor. Oh my god. Another hour of me barely staying on topic. That reaction is probably going to be another hour long reaction. My Christmas Lord.